ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदां सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिकान्त राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukund Karoti Vacham Prabhupada Shri Guru Devatarana Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishvara. Thank you, devotees, all for gathering today for the Sunday program here. I do have a request. If children want to go and play outside or run in the basement, you're welcome to. It's up to you. I don't know if there's anybody to watch them or not, but yeah, they're welcome to. And if all the men can move forward, we can have a closer Sangha. Is that okay? I hope everybody's comfortable. So, a meditation on Radharani, the request of Pandit Shiva. I'm very happy, first of all, to be back in India and seeing some old friends and some new faces. Anybody here for the first time? So today we are celebrating the festival of Radhashtami. We just sung the song, Karuna Kurumi, Karuna Bhai. She's Karuna Kurumi. She's Radharani, is the divine. First we talk a little about Tattva. Who is Radharani? She's the divine mother. Krishna is our father, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Pitaham Asya Jagato, Mata Dhata Pitamaha. So I am the seed-giving father of all living entities, Sarva Yonishu Kaunteya, Murta Sammananteya, Tasam Brahma Baham Hadiyone, Aham Bija Pradha Pita. So he identifies himself as Pita, as the seed-giving father of all living entities. Yeah, we don't believe in evolution as Darwin suggested. There's definitely evolution, but not as Darwin suggested. Srila Prabhupada said human beings have been here for billions of years. Why did we stop evolving? There are many things we can evolve to, but why did we stop evolving? So, anyways, Aham Bija Pradapita. So, if Krishna is the father, he's the grandfather, then Radharani is that merciful mother. Now, another objection will be Karuna Kurumani. Okay, she's feminine, compassionate nature, but she's not just compassionate nature by the materialistic estimation. Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charita. Even the highest brahmacharis in the spiritual world, the four Kumaras, the sons of Brahma, they are glorifying her character, Varnita Charita, meaning her character is pure, it's topmost, there's not a tinge of lust in this pastime. People sometimes think Radha Krishna from a mundane perspective, and Srila Prabhupada explains that if Radharani and Krishna's pastimes were mundane, then why would the highest sannyasis, incarnations of God, would meditate on their pastimes? And just by meditating on their pastimes, just by meditating on Radha Krishna, millions of people have attained liberation. So just by meditating on this divine conjugal union, or this divine arrangement of Radha and Krishna, just the name Hare Krishna or Radha Krishna is sufficient to give liberation, is sufficient to give prema. When I say liberation, I mean prema, not the impersonal liberation, but the personal liberation. So Radharani is the most divine manifestation, embodiment of compassion, of mercy. And we should pray to her as such. Radharani, please save me. Please help me overcome my anarthas. Please help me overcome my roadblocks in my spiritual life. The mental blocks I have, the lack of surrender I have, whatever is missing. Please help. And Radharani, so on this day of Radhashtami, we should really meditate and pray to Radharani for her mercy as the divine mother, as the embodiment of compassion, as the embodiment of all virtue, all good qualities. Radharani's qualities are described in the Vedas, not directly, but indirectly. And of course, there are certain part of Vedas. Vedas are divided into different sections. That Veda, which is for general people, do not describe Radharani. But our Goswamis and our Acharyas, and there are many, many Vedic texts which talks about Radha, but they're not for everybody. So Vedas are graded. Some Vedas are for those who are completely engrossed in karmic consciousness. For them, the subject matter of Radharani is very elevated. Some are more jnani, impersonal liberation. If you talk to them about Radha Krishna, they feel a little disturbed in their mind. But what kind of sadhu would actually meditate on Krishna and his pastimes with the gopis, with Radharani. So because their intelligence is not pure, they cannot access that well. And Nectar of Instruction describes that. So who's Radharani? Radharani, we understand that Krishna expands into all of us, into all the jivas, to increase his pleasure, so that he can reciprocate with us, he can relate to us. Enjoyment is only in a personal relationship. There is no enjoyment without personality. The very fundamental basis of enjoyment is personality. This impersonal knowledge is a calamity. The basis of enjoyment is personality. Without personality, without having a person, there is no enjoyment in life. And ultimately, we are all meant for enjoyment, for ananda, satchidananda. So Krishna wants that enjoyment, and when that one soul, Krishna, becomes two bodies, when Krishna expands into his pleasure potency, then that personality is called Radha. And all of the gopis of Vrindavan, all of the queens of Dwarka, and all the Lakshmis of Vaikuntha, they are simply expansions of Radharani. They are har pratibha, ananda chinmaya pratibhavitapas, tabhirya eva nijarupa payakalati. They are portions of plenary portions of Radharani. Nijarupa, they are expansions of her forms. So that is the essence of Radharani. She's the reservoir of all divine qualities. She's the guru of all the Vaishnavas. She's our topmost deity. And Srila Prabhupada explained that in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there are 4 Krishnas and 4 Ramas, but there are 8 Hares. 8 times we are praying to Radharani. Hare is a vocative for Mother Hara. Hara means Radha. It also is a vocative for Hari. So in the vocative Hare, we are praying to Hari and Hara. When Vaishnavas say Hari Hara can mean Shiva and Vishnu. But when Vaishnavas say Hari Hara, it means Hari and Radha. So that is the meaning of Hari Hara. So Hare is the vocative for Oh Hari, Oh Mother Hara. Please help me. Please help me engage in your service. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a call for engagement in seva, in service. When we chant Hare Krishna, one should try to empty the mind out of any preconceived idea and to simply say, Krishna, however you want, you please engage me in service. And Krishna makes wonderful arrangements to engage us in his service to the best of our ability. To the best of our ability. Yesterday in Cincinnati, I talked about how to approach Radharani. What is the process of approaching Radharani? What is the method? And Rupa Goswami gives us this book called Nectar of Instruction. Nectar of Instruction, this is the essence of all instruction. This is the essence of all advice. If you have not read this book, I would encourage you to read this. In these 11 verses, Rupa Goswami explains the process from Shraddha to Prema, or from whatever state of conditioned life we are in, to the highest acting of spiritual realization. The first verse talks about the 6 urges. Now, my dear devotees, as you go in your spiritual life, you'll meet people who will talk about Raganuga Bhakti, who will talk about advanced levels of Bhakti. Actually, in my own experience, I have found that those who are on that platform of elevated levels of devotion never talk about it. They do not cast their pearls before the swine. And those who talk about it, I'm generally circumspect about it. Because the first principle of spiritual life, the first principle of any genuine spiritual life is to control the urges of the body, the 6 urges of the body. To control the tongue, to control the mind, to control the genitals, control the belly. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam udar upasthami, etan vegana vishaheta dhiraha. That person who can control the senses is called as a dhira. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Dehinosmin yatha dehe, komaram yovanam jara, tatha dehantar praptis dhira, tatranam huyate. That person is sober, who understands that he's not the body, he's spirit, and that the body simply goes through various transformations. That person is called a dhira. And how do you understand that knowledge, not just theoretically, but practically? How do you realize that this body is simply a dress? It is simply a coat. Hidananda Maharaj says, when we feel attracted towards our opposite sex, it's like a coat becoming attracted to another coat. What is the meaning of that? A coat becoming attracted to another coat. It's matter, it's dead matter, which is attractive. The real attraction is towards Krishna, but because we're not Krishna conscious, if I'm looking for water and I don't find water, then I may drink whatever is available. I may drink liquor, I may drink whatever is there, or I may just become so desperate. If you're hungry and there's no food, you eat anything what is there, right? So actually, our attraction to matter, our so-called enjoyment of matter is because we are not tasting the real thing. The real thing is missing. So we're looking for illusory things, pseudo things, reflections of reality to enjoy, to lord over. But that's unnatural. So, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udarupastha Vegam. Jiva Vegam means to chant Hare Krishna, to control Jiva Vegam, and to take Krishna. And also engage one's tongue in chanting the glories of Krishna, speaking Krishna Katha. So that is the first principle of spiritual life. And one who has not done that, he will not find it easy to actually go to the next step in nectar of instruction, which are the 6 things that Goswami explains us to avoid. He teaches us in the 2nd verse that there are 6 things which are detrimental to execution of devotional things. And what are those? Can anybody tell me? Atyahara prayasvacha, prajalpaniyamagriha, janasangasya laulyamcha, shadabir bhakti vinashya. It destroys the bhakti at its root. And this verse talks about the essence of this verse is to attain balance in life, to attain yoga. If we can give up things, that's even better. If we can, but for most people that's tough to give up. But we can attain a balance in our prayas, in our ahar, in our vacho, in our speech. One should try to restrain oneself from these urges. Atyahara prayasacha prajalpa niyamagraha. What is the worst kind of prajalpa? What is the worst kind of prajalpa? Sadhunanda. To gossip about devotees, to speak ill about other people. That's the worst kind of prajalpa. So these are the 6 things one has to control. And you can see, because if one has not controlled these things, he cannot go to the 3rd step. Atyahara means a devotee should eat to maintain his body. He should eat not over excessively. Okay, but again, I don't want children to hear that. So that's the 2nd step. Of course, we should enjoy prasadam to our full satisfaction. That's our prasadam prayer. And that's the only sense gratification devotees really enjoy. So, it's all allowed. And then the second verse leads to the third verse of Nectar of Instruction. What are the 6 things which are favorable to devotional service? Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya. Sometimes our perfection chanting, perfection of consciousness, it takes time. It's not immediate. So one should have patience. Patience with oneself first. One should be patient that yes, Krishna, one day I will achieve. And Rupa Goswami is praying that even for millions of births, if I have to suffer for my karma, if I have to suffer for my anarthas, then I'm prepared to do so. But Krishna, or enemy of Murari, Mura demon, or enemy of Mura, I will never give up serving the lotus feet. I will never give up this hope that one day I will be purified. Then Rupa Goswami says, I have no good qualities. I have no good qualities, neither I have good character, neither I have knowledge, neither I have learning. But somehow I have this hope that one day I will see Krishna playing on his 5th note on the banks of Yamuna. And that hope is giving me great distress in my heart. So Asha Bandha is a very important. Asha means to hope against hope. Although the path is difficult and I'm slipping again and again, and it's a huge uphill climb, and I don't even know what I'm doing. But the acharyas say that in Krishna Bhakti, if a devotee runs with his eyes closed, he will not stumble. So whatever little efforts we make in Krishna consciousness, Krishna reciprocates with us in many, many ways. And gradually, Nashyami Atma Bhavasto, Dhyana Deepena Bhasvata. Gradually, by and by, little, he illuminates our path. He sends us people, he sends us guru, he sends us friends, he sends us service. He gives us service. He tolerates a lot. So we should be patient with ourselves because Krishna is patient with us. He's not giving up on us, he'll never give up. So we should also be patient with ourselves. We should be patient also with others. Do not expect overnight transformation. So Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya, I was explaining, Utsaha means to execute Krishna consciousness with intelligence. Make endeavor with intelligence. That is Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya. Determination. I must do it. I must do it. I must complete my rounds. I must go out and do distribution. I must go on Harinam Sankirtan. I must make an effort to help Lord Chaitanya in whatever Lord Chaitanya wants to help the conditioned souls. I must become his instrument. I must do this. So that's determination. Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya. That should be our first priority. Tat tat karma pravartana. With these Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya, we should follow the activities of bhakti. Sangataga Shato Vritteshwar Bhakti Prasidati. It helps our bhakti. The 4th verse of Nectar of Instructions, after explaining what are the 6 do's and 6 don'ts, the 4th verse of Nectar of Instruction explains how we should relate with devotees. The loving exchanges among devotees. And devotees, really, the whole process of Krishna consciousness from the beginning to end is simply an ever increasing and ever expanding ocean of loving exchanges. So make good friends, be patient with them, control your urges, control your mind, control the tendency to speak and to criticize others, and make loving relationships, developing nice, wonderful relationships, inviting devotees over for prasadam, giving them gifts, remembering their special days. When I first came into Krishna consciousness, we didn't used to wish each other happy birthday because I was totally not this body. But later I realized, to wish devotees on their birthday because we are on a bonding platform. It's a loving exchange. To remember their anniversaries, remember their special days. It's people feel deeply touched when somebody cares about them. One of the pastors was saying, your congregation is only going to be as big as the number of birthdays you have in your diary. You see? It's a very important thing to establish loving exchanges, whatever that may mean, whatever that loving exchange may mean to you. But definitely be personal with devotees. be personal, engage in love in whatever way. So that's the essence of the fourth verse of Nectar of Instruction. One who is unable to bring himself to love others cannot love God also. He cannot engage into deeper levels of devotional service. The most important thing is love. It's not some ritual, it's not some regulation. The most important thing is unconditional love for others. Text 5 talks about, again, relating with devotees in different ways. And I was explaining in detail yesterday. I'll give some snippets today also. That one should mentally honor every devotee. Anybody who chants the name of Krishna, one should mentally honor them. One should never feel judgmental or he's a bad devotee. One should mentally honor everybody. If one keeps that consciousness, his internal space is clear, the mind is uncluttered to chant Hare Krishna, to live a peaceful life. Heaven and hell is our consciousness. We feel, we feel critical or judgmental towards others. That means we're living in hell. What other hell needs to be there? That's the hell of my own mind I'm living. And if I feel grateful for the opportunities, gratitude for everything I have, I respect each and every person who I encounter, then that is real heaven. That is real heaven. So one should mentally honor a devotee who's around us. One should take close association with those who are practicing spiritual life very seriously. And then one should always strive to serve those who are Uttamadhikari Vaishnavas. One should make an opportunity, dear devotees. Take some time and go and spend time with them, those who are pure devotees. Take your time out of your busy life and go and take some time and spend time in a mood of service. So that's the essence of the fifth verse. The sixth verse of Nectar of Instruction talks about not materially seeing devotional things. Deities are not material. The holy name is not material. Holy places are not material. And similarly, Vaishnavas are not material. Amrita was sharing a realization yesterday that Prabhu, the biggest thing is charity begins at home. We should see our spouse and our children also as devotees of Krishna. So one should not see them on a material platform. Don't think, well, she's my wife, so then it's okay, I can treat her like the way I want. One should see that she's also a devotee of Krishna. That she's an embodiment of Radha, an expansion of the feminine energy of the Lord. So like that. So this is the essence. It's not to see things on a material platform. And sometimes the material circumstances may not be so favorable to devotional service. But one should not be limited by that. One should keep a spiritual consciousness through all the relations of life. I wrote somebody was asking, why did we go to heaven or hell? Heaven or hell is what your consciousness is. Wherever you are, that is Vrindavan, if you are connected with Krishna. Of course, we may need some favorable circumstances to prosecute devotional service, but that's our own immaturity. Wherever we are, that is Goloka, that is Vrindavan. So that's the essence of text 6. Text 7 talks about the holy name. Why did Rupa Goswami mention holy name as text 1? Because how can really one chant the holy name, without the preliminary requisites? So these are preliminary requisites to become a sadhaka. These are requisites to become a sadhaka. Yes, of course, we ask everybody to chant the holy name, but to actually perform sadhana, one needs to have some requisites, and these are the requisites to perform sadhana. To make advancement in sadhana, to go from offensive chanting to pure chanting. So the 7th verse talks about this disease of jaundice. And Prabhupada explains in the purport, if one has more attraction for material life, then one should sit down and chant Hare Krishna. There are 10 offenses to chanting Hare Krishna. That is true. We have to follow. 11th offense. Your chanting time should be more than your screen time. 12th offense. One should not have any connection with your cell phone while chanting. 13th offense. One should not make plans for the day while chanting. 14th offense. One should not interrupt one's mala or one's round to do something else. 15th offense. One should dedicate at least 2 to 3 hours every day of quiet time in one's life. And that should be number one priority of life. At that time, no cell phone, no screen, nothing else, no planning, nothing. I'm just feeling engaged in chanting the whole day. So this is important. Of course, we know the 10 offenses. The following verse talks about the essence, the 8th verse is essence of all advice. So this book is the essence of all the Vedas, essence of all Krishna consciousness. 8th verse of Nectar of Instruction is the essence of all advice. Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukritana Swatya Kramena Rasana Manasini Tishtan Vajeta Damuragi Janamina Kalam Mayada Kilesh Upadesha Tannama Rupa Charitadi. Read Bhagavatam, read Bhagavad Gita, read Chaitanya Charitamrita. These 3 books should be constant every day. And then you can read everything else. Like that, Nam, Rupa, Charita, character. Meditate on Krishna's pastimes, his lotus feet, his deity. His deity. Bring the deity of Krishna. Meditate on him day and night. So beautiful, Radha Kalachandji. Yesterday, Radha Govinda. So that's a beautiful gift we have been given. We do not have to meditate on a candle or on a chart. Imagine that. Or meditate on the breath. Okay, sometimes you have to deep breathe and control your breathing and kind of just focus on your breathing to calm yourself down. But after that, meditate on Radha Krishna. Meditate on the Vaishnavas. Meditate on Guru. Meditate on Prabhupada. Meditate on the beautiful pastimes of the Sankirtan movement taking place all over the world. Meditate on that. On this day, Janmashtami, the BBT produces a Vyasa book, Prabhupada's Vyasa book offering. How many people here read that Vyasa book for 2021? Can you please show your hand? Amazing, beautiful meditation. All the centers of Krishna consciousness movement, right off. It's an ebook. You can read it all. Prabhupada's Vyasa book. All of the centers, all of the sannyasis, all the gurus, all the GBC members, they write an offering. Such a profound meditation of Prabhupada. Meditate on Prabhupada, what he did. Watch this. This is a beautiful memories video, Prabhupada's videos. Prabhupada is entering into a temple. He's getting onto a plane. He's honoring Prasada. Watch those videos. We don't have any videos of Krishna. We have Bhagavatam, of course, but we have videos of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was in Mexico City and somebody asked Prabhupada, you said we should meditate on Krishna. What if we meditate on you? And Prabhupada said, yes. What if we meditate on you? Will we get the same result? And Srila Prabhupada said, yes. We get the same result. So meditate on Prabhupada, how we can serve Prabhupada, how we can help his society. Meditation on that. How can I serve Prabhupada's centers, his temples, his projects, his devotees? How I can serve Prabhupada. This should be a meditation. Always, ever expanding and ever deepening meditation. This is Samadhi. How can I spread Prabhupada's books to those who have not received them? This is meditation. What is the point of meditating on a candle? What is the point? Meditate on Prabhupada. Meditate on Guru. Meditate on his good qualities. Meditate on the good qualities of Vaishnavas. Meditate on the devotees, the good qualities, glorify. That's real glorification. That's real meditation. It's pleasing to Krishna. That's the essence of all advice. Essence of all advice is to the Nama Rupa Charitadi Suprikarana. Smritya Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya. And one should engage one's mind like that. Prabhupada explained that mind is a dangerous thing. It's a fickle thing. It's a very uncontrolled mind is the biggest enemy. It's an enemy. So engage your mind internally on meditation. You can watch Prabhupada's videos with family. Did anybody watch memories of Prabhupada videos with your family? We're so attracted to Netflix and all of this. We can watch Prabhupada. Develop a mental culture where you can mentally take shelter of spiritual energy of the Lord. Radharani is the internal potency of the Lord. Daivi Prakriti, Mahatmanastu Mahatpartha, Daivin Prakriti Ashtika 9.14. So how am I going to engage my mind when I'm alone in taking shelter of the divine potency of the Lord? What will I do with my mind which will engage it in the divine energy of the Lord? That's a question we all have to ask. Maya attacks when you go to sleep, and Maya attacks when you wake up from sleep and while you're sleeping. When you are with devotees, it is all wonderful. But when you're alone, Maya is waiting. He's been waiting all day. Now it's going to test. You were with devotees all day. Now you did very nice. Now what about when you're alone? What are you going to do? That's the test. And if you fail the test, then we keep failing the test. Until you pass the test, you don't go to the second level, the next level. So the essence of all advice is to engage the mind in meditating on the name, form, qualities, pastimes of Krishna and his pure devotees. Then, once you do that, then the next line talks about the importance of the holy place. Of all the holy places, and of course, Vaikuntha, superior to Vaikuntha is Mathura. Superior to Mathura is Vrindavan, superior to Vrindavan is Govardhan, superior to Govardhan is Radha. Take shelter of the holy places. Taking shelter and doing service at the temple is also taking shelter of the holy places. But go to Vrindavan, go to Braj, go to Mayapur, go to Puri, go to holy places. Find some time in your life every year to take some shelter. Otherwise, New Vrindavan, Tanagri, or wherever you can. Or just get together and chant Hare Krishna in your home, establish the deity of Krishna. And so the holy places. And just when you go to a holy place, the only deliberation should be bhajan, japa and kirtan and association. So nothing else. Nothing else. That's the essence of text 9. Text 10 finally talks about that there are millions of karmis in this world. Millions of karmis. Prabhupada explains in Bhagavatam, Nunam pramatte kurute vikarma yad indriya pritiya sadhu manne to atmana shriya shatre shadhiya. That Nunam pramatte kurute vikarma, pramatte, under the influence of pramad, people are acting like madmen, ghost haunted. They're ghost haunted. Darpan Prabhu, Damodar Krishna Prabhu went to India after his Diksha, and he was staying with his relatives. He was just telling me the story right now in the van. They were telling him that you should eat meat, drink, and you have joined a terrorist organization. These are Rajputs. Rajputs were meant to be the protector of Vedic culture, protector of Dharma. The protectors of Dharma, the Kshatriyas. Kurta Vikarma, People have become mad. Srila Prabhupada says, who will ignore Krishna consciousness? Two kinds of people. One who is mad, and other one who wants to commit suicide. Two kinds of people will ignore Krishna. One who's completely mad, second one who had decided to commit suicide. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's a suicidal policy. I am a terrorist. You should tell them, you are the terrorist, you are jihadi, you are that suicide bomber. You are a suicide bomber. You are not only committing suicide, you are encouraging others to commit suicide. Andha yathendiya upaniya manas. Blind leading the blind. So out of those millions of karmis, there is one who must be doing karma yoga. Who starts karma yoga? Yat karoshi yadashnasi yachudasi kadasi yatapasyati tadarpa. And out of those who are doing karma yoga, one may come to the platform of jnana. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mantravat. Vasudev sarvamiti samahatma sadurla. And out of those jnanis, one may actually attain love for Krishna. One may understand who's Krishna, who am I, what is my relationship with Krishna. And out of those devotees of Krishna who are in love with Krishna, Radharani is the highest. So who is that foolish person who will not meditate on the eightfold pastimes of Radha Govinda? Who is that foolish person who will not meditate on the eightfold pastime, the Ashtakaliya Leela? This is afternoon, now Krishna is doing this. This is evening, now Krishna is doing this. Who is that foolish person who will not meditate on the Ashtakaliya Leela of Radha Govinda? And then Rupa Goswami says that once we get there, text 11 talks about Radha Kunda, the Kunda of Radha, the embodiment of liquid prema. Prema is always manifested in liquidity. Prema means liquidity, tears. Radha Kunda. The subtlety of bhava, the subtlety of emotion, the sensitivity in dealings. So that Radha Kunda is liquid prema. It's an embodiment of prema. In Braj, in the holy places, all of the water bodies are in fact embodiment of prema. One should think like that. And Radhanath Swami writes in his journey home that all of the rivers and all the water bodies are sacred. May not be as sacred as Radha Kunda or Ganges, but they're sacred nonetheless. So I'll stop here. So that's the message, and those are some thoughts which came to my mind on Radhashtami. Our prayer can only be to Radharani for our own spiritual development, to overcome our anarthas, to give us strength to practice devotional service, to chant the holy name with gay abandon, to actually minimize our distraction and deviation in life, and to just focus on Krishna and Radha. And to live our life and to organize our life in such a way that we do not separate ourselves from Radha Krishna. All of our decisions we take should be like, okay, how can I come closer to Radha Krishna? So that is the message. I'm opening it up for any questions. Then we can do more kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Such a wonderful class. I remember you mentioning, you're talking about further offenses and not stopping our japa, to do something else. But, let's say someone asks you to help them when you do some seva. Aren't we chanting before that seva? So wouldn't it be okay to stop our chanting? Because that's why we're chanting. I feel like if someone came up to me and I'm chanting, they're like, hey, can you help me? I'm like, no, I'm chanting. So what would I do in that situation?
First thing is, if you find that you are being interrupted in your japa, or the potential to be interrupted in your japa is there in an environment where people can interrupt you and do that. Devotees then, like for example, I may sometimes chant at home before I visit the temple, or chanting in the morning, when there is a dedicated time for chanting. Or I may chant in a place, where people don't interrupt me for service. So that's important, that a little solitude helps with chanting. The second thing is, if you are chanting, then while you are chanting japa, people should come to you and interrupt you. That's not proper. Somebody is chanting. I mean, unless the house is on fire. Unless the house is on fire, if somebody is chanting, then you should be careful not to interrupt that person. The service can wait a little bit. It can wait a few minutes. The proper response to that is, if that happens, is, let me, Prabhuji, is it okay if I finish this round? And usually the answer is yes. Oh, yes. So you at least finish the round, do the service, but then prioritize chanting. Also, chanting shouldn't be done while there is service to do, while there is a lot to do. Let's say it's Saturday and it's 10:30, and Amit tells Anuja, now I'm going to chant. Well, there are kids to be taken care of, there's household work to be done, there are errands to be done. That is a problem, which Amit just put himself in. That's not proper. Amit has to use his intelligence to find a time for japa where the possibility of interruptions is little, or discuss, okay, it's 10:30, can I disappear for an hour or so? And that has to be a shared decision making. So people who are around you aiding, they need to understand what your priorities are, what your day like is, what your schedule is like. So I tell Lalita regularly, Lalita, I'm going to go for a walk, and I'm not going to take my phone with me. Finish my rounds and then go to the temple. So there are few ideas. You have to intelligently prioritize a time where possibility of interruption is limited. Number two, if there is a lot of service to be done around and somebody picks up his beads, it sometimes can be annoying to others. Thirdly, if that is the case, you may have to kind of remove yourself from that active service scene. Give yourself half an hour, communicate to others that I really want to do this, and then I'll come and do service. And if you do get interrupted, it is okay to request to finish your round at least before you just put the beads down.
Thank you so much, people. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
So now we'll, if it's okay with you, we'll do Aarti. And during Aarti, we'll do Kirtan. We're running a little bit behind on time as always. Sorry. We have only about 20 minutes to
15 minutes.
All right.
Aarti 15 minutes.
And then afterwards. Okay. Thank you. Let us please thank His Grace Premadas Prabhu by chanting. Shubhadas Prabhu, would you like to do the Aarti? And then while Aarti is going on, it will be a stand-up Aarti. Aiden Prabhu, Hariko, whoever wants to do Kirtan. Stand up. Stand up. Please.
Namo Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Devi Shresha Sundari Kashyapare Chakarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sai Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, 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 Hare. Jaya Shri Govardhana, Shri Govardhana, Shri Govardhana, Jaya Govardhana. Jaya 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Gaur Bhakta ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Sri Vrindavan Mathura Dham ki Sri Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki Purushottam Kshetra Jagannath Puri Dham ki Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya Bhakti Devi ki Srimati Tulsi Maharani ki Sri Radhashtami Maha Mahotsav ki Sri Radhashtami Maha Mahotsav ki Radhashtami Maha Mahotsav ki all glories to the Son of the devotees. All glories to the Son of the devotees. All glories to the Son of the devotees. All glories to the Guru Varanga, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai.
Okay, so let's do Nashimide prayers and then Prashadam.
Namaste Narayana Namaste महाप्रसादे गोविंदे नमो ब्राह्मणे वैष्णवे स्वल्पपुण्यवतं राजन् विश्वासनाय विजायते शरीराय विद्याजाल ज्योतिन्द्रियकाङ्गिका विवेकने विषयसागरे तन्मयति जय श्री राधा कृष्ण महाप्रसादम की जय।
So Prashadam downstairs. Oh, because of the come, please.